Hello there and a very warm welcome to another edition of Channels Beam. I am Victor Matthias. Now, as efforts to build young Africans for leadership positions in Africa gains traction, one of the recommendations made after the 2018 World Youth Forum was to have a program that will bring together young people to be empowered with leadership skills. As a result, the African Presidential Leadership Program was founded. Now, today on the program, we will be speaking to some of the first batch of fellows on the impact of their experience and how they intend to use the knowledge gained at the forum. But let's first take a look at the trending social media topics in the past before we do that.
Nigerians have expressed mixed reactions over the defeat of Atiku Abubakar at the Presidential Election Tribunal. The tribunal upheld President Muhammadu Buhari's victory at the February 23 presidential election. The federal government reveals plan to increase value-added tax from 5% to 7.2%. The proposed tax has provoked a public outcry online.
Well, there you go. Those were the trends in the past week. But joining us to look at the topic of the day, we have with us in the studio Rose Okafor. She is a fellow of the African Presidential Leadership Program right here from Nigeria. Thanks for joining us on the program today.
Thank you, Victor.
We also have another fellow from the same program, Abdul Razak Karim. Thanks as well for joining us today on the program.
Thank you for inviting us.
Of course. We also have joining us from Kampala in Uganda, Fiona Nabukenya. She is also a fellow from Uganda, of course. It's a pleasure to have you on the program, Fiona.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you as well. Well, Rose kicks out this conversation for us. What necessitated the need, to begin this program in the first place?
Okay. The African Presidential Leadership Program is an initiative of His Excellency, the President of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who is also the current chairperson of the African Union. Okay, so the vision of Africa, according to Agenda 2063, is to build an integrated, peaceful, and prosperous continent driven by her citizens. Okay, so that's the driving factor for the commencement of the African Presidential Leadership Program. And it is an educational and cultural program, okay, that brings together African youths from different African countries under one umbrella to facilitate development and peace.
All right, great. For you, Karim, I mean, this program, would you say that maybe perhaps there's been a debt of leadership, say from the founding fathers of Africa, those who fought for the emancipation of Africa from colonial masters, at this point in time? And is that why maybe this is coming through to, breed this new generation of leaders that will take Africa to the next level?
Actually, I wouldn't say that, but Africa has always been having a good leader all the while. But my home, based on this program, African Presidential Leadership Program, I believe it's also part of it to build the future African leaders. People that sees values in what Africa has, people that knows the resources and how they will be able to manage that resources to effect changes to promote the Agenda 2063. We need a youth who sees this, who sees importance in what we have and know how to manage that resources to build the next African that we want. The African Presidential Leadership Program is mainly to ensure that, okay, African youth that are bringing now, that are growing now, they should be able to work together, see the values in what Africa has. We have a lot of resources, and this is one of the key areas why this program was initiated by the president of Egypt.
Well, speaking of Egypt, we have one of the fellows of this program who is joining us actually from Cairo in Egypt, Rowan Taha. Rowan, it's a pleasure to have you on the program as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Well, so let's begin with your experience, with this program. I mean, you guys spent quite a lot of time, learning and doing projects together. So what was your experience like? Fiona, let me start from you. What was your experience like during this whole exercise?
Thank you very much. Actually, it was more than an experience. For me, the African Presidential Leadership Program, I wish as many young people to join it as possible, because not only do you go to learn or to just sit in class, but it was a very life-changing moment to see various African youths across the continent coming together with smart brains, with projects being done at home, back in their home countries, and seeing young CEOs at a young age. But above all, to see Africans fighting for one cause, the Africa we want. And for me, I really see there is a paradigm shift in the leadership we are having. The earlier we have youth inclusion, the better. So for me, the experience was autonomous because I was able to share with various youths across various African countries, and we were able to get solutions and check out the challenges and opportunities each region has, and how we can leverage on one another to get a good Africa, to get the Africa we want, and to achieve the Agenda 2063.
All right, very well. Let me come back to you. That's speaking of Rwanda now, they say charity begins at home. So for you, how would you use your experience from this program? How would you use what you've experienced, what you've gained from this, to make a change, starting from your own community there? Rwanda.
Oh, hello. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes. Prior to ending the program, my original profession is a dentist. I work in the medical field. And after the program, I gained a lot of leadership and managerial skills that I want to leverage to my colleagues who have no idea about what this stuff is, because our background is purely medical. So I've engaged in a couple of volunteer projects after the African Presidential Leadership Program. I started working on a project for science diplomacy and health diplomacy, so I can foster peace and development through building diplomatic relations between countries, particularly in Africa and the Middle Eastern and North African region. So I want to do that through science and building health solutions, and I want that to be a career as well, to build a more prosperous Africa through finding science solutions collaboratively.
All right, fantastic. Let me come back to you guys. I mean, so you guys have now gone out there. I mean, you are fellows from Nigeria. You've met fellows from other African countries. So the issue of collaboration now, what's on the table so far? Because one of the key objectives for that is to have a collaborative effort in moving the continent, as a whole, to the next level. Is there anything on the table in terms of collaborating with other fellows from other countries?
Yes, there is a lot of, because when we're there, we have a lot of contact, and we try to network ourselves. We collect data of the information as regard to what everyone is doing, and we look at the area of priority that really concerns us. Then we partner with one of these people, and one of the projects that we think we can do together to pull Africa forward is the issue of creating a peace club in Africa. Get this right. So everybody work together, and we have the contact, and we have the database where we discuss issues together so as to
So like
provide
like a WhatsApp group or some form of a group?
Some of WhatsApp group. And we have also a proposal, and when we're there, and this proposal is on creating a club in all our respective countries, where it will be only one for African Presidential Leadership Club, so that it creates more awareness. And some of other projects that we're also trying to work is trying to see how we can integrate this knowledge that we have gathered there to impact into our people. And if we do not have, maybe with the one we are doing is not, we not have enough knowledge about it, these people will also collaborate with us, we share experience, using one experience from one other country to try to implement it in another country and see how it will work for us so as to achieve the Agenda 2063.
Yeah.
And because it's very important, we have seen Africa we want. This Africa we want, we know what we want, and you cannot do it without collaboration, because this is the only way we can achieve a common goal. And the common goal is promoting African peaceful stability and economy of Africa, so that Africa will grow and it will not be depending on any other person before we can achieve whatever we want to go. We all know that we are most of us, the countries are dependent on external aid and some other things. How do we harness the resources that we have so that these resources will be able to manage it effectively to champion the cause of development and growth in Africa?
All right, so let me come back to you, Rose. I mean, of course, you were selected for a reason. You must have been doing something exceptional, something, worthy of commendation, for the organizers of this program to select you in the first place. So what work are you doing? I mean, because you must have shown some form of leadership right here in Nigeria for you to get that African recognition. So what is your work centered around?
Okay, right here in Nigeria, I run a youth-oriented organization. Okay, we're a team of volunteers. We serve and we support outstanding initiatives of individuals and non-governmental organizations in Nigeria. So we have a team in Ibadan, Lagos, and Abuja. So what we do is we recruit youths, we train them on volunteering, we enroll them into host organizations, and we support them for the duration of their humanitarian projects. Yes.
What about you? What is your work centered around?
Actually, my own work is based on peace and security. I recall during this general election, I formed what is called Coalition of Youth, where we go to different communities to champion the cause of peace during election. We all know during 2019 election, some people were saying that, okay, where we came from, that, okay, there will be kind of electoral violence and more thing. We brought youth together. We've been training youth in the area of peace and security over the years. We see that, okay, the only way we can try to reduce the cause of violence, some of these in our various community, is to train some of these youth, create awareness of importance of peace in our country, in our community, everywhere. So that because if there is no peace, there can't be development. If there is no development, we cannot go anywhere. And we believe that, okay, this youth, we identify youth that have interest, because it's not all youth that have interest. Because sometimes when you call them, some of them requested money. We try to do, okay, we collaborate with the community leaders, we collaborate with the youth organizations.
So traditional leaders.
Exactly. See, we come together.
So you serve as a bridge.
Exactly, between them and the community. We went to different community where we sensitize them in the importance of peace. We train a lot of people. And another thing we also do is the issue of budget tracking and monitoring. We also train youth, because we know that a lot of corruption occur in our budgeting system, frivolity and misdemeanors. We have trained a lot of youth in this regard at the state level, so that everybody will know. Yes, everybody will be able to see, okay, this is the budget, this is what's going on, this is what we come up. And we train them on how also they can track the performance and how they can track some of the projects that the cause-consensus project in their various communities. In this regard, we also try to form what is called open budget forum.
You seem to have so much going on.
We have a lot of things that we're doing too.
Just hold it for a bit. I will just take a quick break, and we'll be back to continue with this very interesting conversation with fellows from the African Presidential Leadership Program. Please stay with us.